Okay guys, so today I want to talk about something that took me literally years to figure out. And if you're watching this, it might be something that you're struggling with too. It's about why being too nice all the time, especially when it comes to women, can actually push them away and it's going to leave you pissed off. Now, I've been there many times, so I'm going to share with you what I've learned along the way to help you break out of this cycle. All right, so I want you to picture this. You're doing everything right, or at least you think you are. You're buying her flowers, you're texting her all the time, you're being the yes man for everyone in your life. You're there for people. You have a big heart, I get it. You drop everything to fix stuff for her, and yet you still get ghosted. You still get dumped. And at work, you're putting in tons of effort, but nobody seems to notice or appreciate it. Does this kind of sound familiar? Look, I know how you feel because I was you. For a long time, I thought being super nice, accommodating, and always available was the way to go. Oh man, was I wrong. So I grew up with two younger sisters and I was mainly raised by my mom, so I naturally became a nice, conscientious guy. Now, my dad was with me for most of my life when I grew up, pretty much all the way through high school. He was a good man, wasn't exactly the most masculine role model, and so that left me a bit unbalanced in this area. So it wasn't until I was about 19 when I joined the Marine Corps. And the reason I enjoyed the Marine Corps was because I wanted to toughen up. I was a soft, skinny, and I really didn't have much of a backbone. I mean, I was a straight pussy, I'll be honest. And trust me, the Marines have a way of making you tough real quick. But even after the Marines, where I gained all this confidence and learned how to stand up for myself, I still struggled with women. Like, it wasn't enough. I remember this one girl I really liked when I was about 27. And this was really pivotal for me because it's really where that tide turned. And I thought I was doing everything right. I texted her back immediately. I gave her tons of compliments. I bought her flowers. I would drop whatever I was doing when she was free just to hang out. And guess what? She pulled away. But this was how I acted with every girl. And at the time, I couldn't understand it. I mean, I was treating her like a princess, right? Like, shouldn't she appreciate that? But I was fed up with how things were going. But you see, you can't always blame everyone else. You have to self-examine, especially if some of the same trends in your life keep popping up. So that's exactly what I did. And here's the truth. Being too nice, too accommodating, and too available comes off as desperate. Women don't want to be the center of your world. They don't. They don't want to be completely ignored. But if you're constantly showering her with attention, it signals that you don't have much going on in your own life. What's going to happen is she's going to start losing interest because it's too easy for her. She wants to feel like she has to work a little bit for your attention. I mean, at least a little bit. Now, this doesn't mean that you should be an asshole and, leave her on red for days like a lot of these toxic red pill guys out there are telling you to do and play a bunch of crazy games and stuff. Like, I'm not saying you need to play all these crazy games and be cold, but it's about having a balance. So women want a man who has his own priorities, his own life, and respects himself enough to set boundaries. So you need to show her that while you are interested, she's not your entire world. Let her come to you sometimes. Let her wonder a little. Mystery is very powerful. Now, what you don't want to do, which is what I did for a long time, is always let the woman come to you and always let her try and pursue you. See, because pursuing is a masculine energy. So if she's really in her feminine, she's not going to pursue and chase you, bro. But a lot of guys on YouTube are teaching this kind of stuff, but it doesn't work for the high quality women that you actually want to have a relationship with, because they're going to be like, well, fuck this guy, he doesn't give a shit. Now, the other side of the coin is it might work if you're just trying to hook up, because if they want you, like they're going to keep hitting you up first, dude. Like, I'm telling you, if they want to just sleep with you, like they're going to keep hitting you up. But I'm not here to teach that stuff. Now, I did have to go through that red pill phase for a while, but it's not conducive if your goal is to find a high quality woman, because a lot of the behavior that these guys teach is very toxic and it's gonna attract toxic girls. Make sense? So I've really dumbed this all down to make it as simple as possible so you have the most value without going too crazy deep on this topic. So today I'm gonna give you 6 tactical tips. Number one is stop trying to please everyone. It's not possible. I mean, we've all been there. I've been there a million times, saying yes to everything because we think that's what makes us valuable to people. Whether it's in your relationships, maybe it's at work, or just even with friends, being that yes man makes you the go-to guy for favors. But it also means people will start to take advantage of you. When you're always bending over backwards to make others happy, you're teaching them that your time and needs don't matter. And eventually what's gonna happen is people are gonna take you for granted. So if you want respect, you need to set boundaries. Say no sometimes. It's okay to put yourself first and make sure that your needs are met. And if you don't wanna do something, don't do it. Because what's gonna happen is, which is what happened to me, is you're gonna start to build up resentment over time, harboring all that frustration from doing so much shit you don't feel like doing. And then you're gonna come off as passive aggressive, because that's a very beta way to express your feelings, because beta males are not assertive. So the key is to be helpful, but not at the expense of your self-respect. Does that make sense? Cool. So number two is say what you want. Be assertive. Too many guys are afraid to express what they really want, whether it's in a relationship, romantic relationship, at work, or just in everyday interactions. Instead, most guys just kind of go with the flow and hope things work out in their favor. But here's the thing, if you don't ask for what you want, you're rarely gonna get it. And people, especially women, respect a man who is direct and knows what he wants and communicates that. Now, this doesn't mean being a complete asshole, but it's about being clear and confident in what you want and saying what it is that you want. If you want to go out with her, say it. If something isn't working for you at work, speak up. Assertiveness shows that you value yourself and aren't afraid of rejection. It's better to be clear and risk a no than to never say anything and end up frustrated, which is what happens a lot of the times. Number three is don't over-validate. Look, compliments are okay, compliments are great, but too many guys are going overboard with validation with women. They're constantly telling a woman how beautiful she is, how amazing she is. Oh my God, I'm so lucky to have you. Like, I see it all the time on social media. It's just complete simp behavior. Now, if you're both high value, you're both fortunate enough to have each other. Too many guys are always available for her, like whenever she calls or texts. Now, while it might seem like this will win her over, it usually has the opposite effect. You can't be too available. And when you over-validate a woman, you give her too many compliments, right? It comes off as really needy, like you're trying too hard to get her approval. Women want to feel valued, but they also want to feel like they're with someone who has standards and isn't impressed by every little thing. Compliment her, but do it in a way that feels genuine and not excessive, over the top. Let her earn some of the attention from you, and then she's gonna value it more. Because here's the thing, in today's society, especially when it comes to social media, like Instagram and TikTok and stuff, attention is the most valuable currency there is. And especially for a hot girl, because they're getting tons of attention on Instagram and stuff, like dudes literally sliding in DMs all the time, dropping comments constantly. Women are practically immune to it at this point. So separate yourself by being different, acting different. And again, I'm not saying to never give her compliments, just use them sparingly and be genuine when you do it, because most guys aren't doing that. And if you do that, she's gonna be like, wow, this guy's different, and it's gonna make you more attractive to her. Number four is keep your own life first. Always. One of the biggest mistakes guys make is dropping everything for a woman. And I have done this in the past. I totally get that it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of that new relationship. But if you start neglecting your goals, your friends, your family, or even your hobbies, you're gonna quickly lose her respect. Women want a man who has his own life, his own ambitions, his own passions. And if you're constantly available and putting her first, it sends the wrong message. It sends the message that you don't have much going on with your own life. And at the end of the day, the healthiest relationships are built on mutual respect, where both people have their own interests and don't rely on the other person for validation or happiness. So I want you to stay focused on your goals, whether it's your career, fitness, or just overall personal development and the whole package. Let her see that she's joining your life, not becoming the center of it. Number 5 is slow down the conversations. When we're nervous, we tend to fill the silence with too much talking. It's a way of compensating for the anxiety of the moment, just like over chatter, like just running your mouth, especially when you're talking to someone that you're really interested in. But here's the thing, if you're talking too fast, trying to explain yourself, like over explain yourself or, overcompensating, it's gonna make you come off as insecure. Again, you're trying to get the validation from her, you're over talking, and women will notice this. So instead, what I want you to do is slow down, be comfortable with pauses in the conversation, and just let things unfold naturally. You don't have to try to force it. This is not only going to show confidence, but it also gives her a chance to engage more in the conversation. Ask her questions, let her talk, and listen. Women love it when a guy listens and shows interest in what they have to say. So don't feel the need to rush or overly impress her. Confidence is quiet and calm. And women love to talk. They love to talk. So just ask her a lot of questions. And it doesn't mean that you have to be weird where you're interrogating her like a and then just sitting there and not saying shit. Just show interest and listen. You don't have to be awkward, mute, and not say anything at all. If she asks you a question, answer and ask her a follow-up question. And it also keeps you more mysterious. Answer her question and then keep it brief and then say something else, right? Ask her another question. But you don't want to lay all your cards out there. So the last one, number 6, is face your fears. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something that you build over time. And the way you build confidence is by facing your fears and stepping outside your comfort zone. Whether it's approaching a woman you find attractive, it's speaking up at work, or just setting a boundary in a relationship. These are all opportunities to grow. And the more you challenge yourself on a daily basis, the more confident you become. I once heard a quote from Alex Hormozy, and it was something along the lines of, the way to build confidence is to have a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. So it's basically about just stacking wins in your life. And by doing hard things, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone on a regular basis and having proof of that you have accomplished those things and you've overcome certain challenges, that's gonna make you a more confident person. So the more you challenge yourself, the more confident you'll become. And the less you'll need external validation from others. Women are naturally drawn to confident men. I didn't say arrogant, I said confident. It's different. Confident men know their worth. So what I want you to do is start small. Set little challenges for yourself every day that push you outside of your comfort zone. Do something every day that scares you. Do something every day that's hard. Do something every day that puts you out of your comfort zone. Over time, you'll find that the things you were once afraid of are no longer a big deal. And this newfound confidence will transform not just your dating life, but every area of your life. So guys, if you like this video, I want you to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.